is the pinnacle of your career, and, on the road, defending the World Heavyweight Championship belt. The challenger is a surgery. He was unbeaten in 15 matches. Han is extremely confident to flip Keurig's clothes. Initially caused a lot. Difficult for the male lead. But actually Keurig is trying. Love to be beaten. Because he knows that the other person will not be able to defeat me. Meanwhile, Keurig tried to observe the enemy's weak points. Very soon, the first round was over. The advantage is a little more visible to the opponent, for giving the champion such the world of eating and punching their mouths. But at point 2, Keurig is real. Entry into the match. They say they know the enemy. I take care to win. And after a clear consideration of the opponent, Keurig has just started to counterattack. Directly take the blow. Then make a hook into the super strong rib network. Then just like that. One more. Another blow to the opponent's face, making our company unbearable, and collapse to the floor. Thereby, winning a victory. Extremely convincing. Successfully defending the title, world champion. After that victory, Keurig decided to retire. To spend time with her, more girls. Especially warming up emotions, with his wife. His job at the moment is, to the training room, creating a talented young generation. But not long after, there is a man who comes to you for help. Our company is called Dame. Used to be close friends, Keurig's core. In one time, the male protagonist does not, may be bullied. Dame pulled out his gun to the beauty of the other guy. Because of that, he was imprisoned for 18 years. Has only been released so far, knowing that Keurig has been very successful in his boxing career. So Dame wanted to ask for help. When he was not in prison, Dame was also a promising boxer. But, because of Keurig, he lost everything. Now I want the male protagonist to help me walk. Feed into professional boxing? Thought that Dame's imprisonment is partly my fault. So he agreed to help. Led to the club for training. Still, there was no hope. Because Dame is old. To get back to the top is extremely difficult. But he still creates conditions, best for Dame, with his pet, who holds the boxing championship belt, world after Keurig's time. From then on, the two of them also gradually became closer. At this time, Dame asked why he was transparent. Keurig hasn't visited him for 18 years. I saw that he also sent many letters to the male lead, but never received a reply. Now, Keurig wondered, because he has never received a letter from Dame. Although he heard the words, explain that, but Dame thought that Keurig was lying, and think that the male lead is the person. Gratitude to the father. So the next morning in the room, what happened? Dame, while training with Trevor, being eaten and punched continuously, causing Dame was extremely shocking. There is no way to play dirty. Issued a number of prohibitions in boxing. Make the two sides a little bitter. Also, happened to be killed. This made Trevor join the coaching table. Training is extremely annoying, because Trevor is having to keep his strength to be standard D for the upcoming match. I don't think Dame is here. What does it mean to be good? The coaching table with Trevor once in, Keurig chased him away. However, the male lead is still in love, and hold him back. But then one thing didn't. Fortunately, it happened. Unfortunately, he was attacked by an unknown person, leading to the fact that he can't compete. The match will therefore, also be pointed out, postponed for at least 6 months. This caused Keurig's side to suffer. The losses are very heavy. In order to reduce the damage, they are required to find a new opponent for Trevor. At this time, Keurig came up with that person is Dame. Last time Trevor was still very funny. Although I don't like it, it's also opportunity to recover. Thereby, he also immediately agreed. At this time, just ask for opinions. Dame's is done. And when Gan received an offer, Dame was overjoyed, because this is the best opportunity to become a talk boat. Now, Trevor is holding the station. World boxing rivals. Dame winning this battle means I'm going to take a step forward. That's why this match are of great interest to the press. The two sides also plugged their heads and practiced. A person who wants to hold onto the throne. The other tried to overthrow an empire. Very quickly, the day of the match came. There were many spectators coming to the COV ring. That shows the heat of the match. How big is this match? Not to be missed, Dame also walked into the ring. Under the dance incident with the enthusiasm of the audience, Trevor's turn was even more handsome. When called by the audience, the name Little Grit, or the inheritor of the Giants. That's why he has a sense of self. Great news when stepping into the ring. The match was then also started. Both sides are playing quite cautiously at this time, mainly moving to probe each other. After a long time, they launched diplomatic blow. But suddenly, Dame launched a shot, punched Trevor hard in the shoulder. Then play martial arts cards, continuously provoked him. The match at this time has also begun to heat up. The two sides constantly tat in return. Blood is a common language. The Hyoyin also swelled. They had a little time off, so that the coaching staff can go to war. Technique to compete in the next round. Who would have thought right in the second half? Dame joked again, deliberately playing dirty and tickling to attack, which is a blow committed in boxing. This makes the training along with these the man who covered Trevor was very angry. But the referee only reminds if he repeats. Again, Dame will be defeated. After that bad play, Han faded, repeatedly hit Trevor's hand, for the purpose of narrowing his right joint. There are a bunch of bad hits like that, making the grid below also hot-eyed. The second half also ended. The advantage is tilted in Dame's favor. Until the third round, everything has gone beyond the reach. Trevor's control. He only knows how to stand still and endure tightly. Did not launch any blow towards Dame. In the end, Trevor was knocked down by Boom. Boomcock punches thousands of pounds. Little Grid has been knocked down by a famous king, thereby losing the blame for the station. The enemy king fell into the hands of Dame. This match closed the capital of one. The controversy is huge. Many people think that Dame plays dirty to win. At this moment, the Grid received messages from mothers. Tell him to come here. She has something to say. She also just finished watching the match and thought that it was impossible to hide. This is more. For the past 3 years, Dame has been in prison and sent a letter to Trevor. She kept it from letting him know because he didn't want his son to be split with the prisoners. Who would have thought that led to a relationship? The breakdown of two close friends. Through the step of the image and axis in prison, Grid's mother discovered the guy who shook hands with Dame was the one who attacked Trevor's opponent in Shop 3. That's why he is advantageous. Stepped on the martial arts to participate in the last match. At this time, the Grid also realized right from his head was pierced by him. Too angry that he went, find him to talk. I didn't expect that Dame would come back at this time. Are eating themselves victorious. Seeing Grid, he showed that he didn't care. Even punched her herself, broken fruit with few mouths. For the sinner dares to come here to speak morally. After that punch, brotherhood, officially starting from here, this matter has not passed. Another thing has happened. Grid receives the news that his mother has had a stroke, and led to her departure. Losing a loved one is a blow. Too big shock for the male lead. Since the arrival of Dame, life has been completely turned upside down. He wants to reclaim everything and restore order. So Grid accepted, participate in a program. Then, challenge him to World Championships. Receiving the news, Dame rejoiced again. Just accept the challenge. It's been a long time since Grid returned to play. It's not easy. Apart from the experience, he lost to his opponents. However, he was still determined to practice, with the hope of returning to the top. Meanwhile, Dame also worked hard to train, but with a fearless attitude. Father and son. Very quickly, the duel came. This match was even watched, more than the battle against Trevor. Because Americans always think that Grid is a talker. The night of a very important match to watch. Are you out of time or not? While Dame was very fraternal, bring out the champion radio to prove the power of the champion. After the tea session of the match has begun. At first Dame was mostly surfing. Make the Grid constantly stick. Looking at the game, everyone thinks that the Grid has mistakes when stepping into the ring. Because this match can take all of your goes, Career 2. And do you understand? Pardon me. Dame attacked even more violently. So continue to stop the grid in the corner of the floor to attack. But, with long experience, know how to get out. Then also launched counterattacks, making the opponent have to build a sewing beam. The game also returned to balance. At this time, the coaching staff asked, Grid must be as focused as possible, making him put his opponent in the air. There were only 2 people. Here, they fight, flatly, for tat play. Everyone is putting effort into having the opponent's poison, but the result is still indistinguishable from high and low. Very quickly, the match passed 11 rounds. Now there is only 1 round left to divide the victory or defeat. Eating too many hits makes the Grid can't concentrate anymore. He was attacked to the point, indefensible, leading to having to choose an owl. Dame's 1,000-pound punch, causing him to collapse to the floor, painfully. The referee also started counting down. Thought he couldn't get up. But when he saw his wife and children below, his determination resurfaced. The Beast Emperor in him stood up again. Grid finally got up. At the last wire, the match was then continued. At this point, there was nothing left to lose. Grid rushed to attack frantically. Do not give the opponent a chance. Which guild to resist? Very quickly, threw a punch. The Pot faction to defeat Dame. After 10 seconds countdown to the audience, couldn't get up stupidly. Thereby, Grid wins. Convincingly, after so many years he came back again, to find the glory again. Most especially, this victory. He enjoys it with his wife and children, even if the daughter wants to. In the footsteps of the legendary father, that Grid has turned her into a second Grid or not? Not? Then let's wait until the next movie. And now hello, and see you again. You guys in the next movie. Bye bye. Noon. Bye.
If you love movies as much as we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, share it with fellow film fans, and drop your hot takes in the comments.